What's going on, YouTube? It is Sunday, February 1st. Just got back from Florida. Drove all morning, driving all morning. Um, Came back from the Florida Multigun Trial of Champions, kind of a mini major. I don't know if that's an official term. A mini major, basically, if you're kind of new to this, though, is instead of being 10, 8, 10, 12 stages, a mini major is one day of major quality stages. So, came back from that, had a good time. I'll put it up here. I finished second in open. Now, that is not a flex. We'll go into this here in just a sec. But I finished second in open. Decent performance by me. We'll go through my stages here and then I'll talk thoughts on the match afterwards. That's kind of the plan. But so Florida Multigun. So this year, so second year they've done it. Last year, 2025, first year. So last year there were some big names there. I had pulled it up in practice score to kind of compare. There were 7 stages. They had some big hitters. Joe Farewell won it overall. Jeremy Leitner, who won this year, shot 80% of Joe last year. Last year, Jeremy was shooting tack ups. This year, he shot modified, which lets him go a little faster. But there were 7 stages last year, 105 shooters. This year, 6 stages and 87 registered shooters according to practice score. So that's kind of where they were. A lot of people didn't show it was not nice weather. If you're watching this sometime in the future, the bomb cyclone hit yesterday. So Friday when I was walking stages, it was almost 80 degrees and I was sweating because I don't live in 80-degree weather right now. And then I did not take enough warm clothes yesterday. I had on a long sleeve shooting jersey, a hoodie, and a raincoat if I wasn't shooting. So just trying and a beanie and gloves, trying to keep everything off. So like I said, second place open, 5th overall. So happy with the finish. While we're talking that, I walked the prize. They had a prize table. Got a cool Team Wendy helmet with a nods mount that I don't have nods for. And while normally I let prize tables influence me to go buy things, I'm not going to go buy nods just because I got a nods mount. So yeah, Team Wendy, shout out. I think this came from one of the other guys, one of the other sponsors, not necessarily Team Wendy. This was the match shirt. This is not my favorite. I don't know who made this. It's yellow and purple. I don't know if this is a Florida thing. It looks LSU to me. But Keltec was the title sponsor. Shout out to Keltec. They did have a couple of firearms on the table. The one I didn't have was already gone. They had a P17, which is a little 22. I got one of those at Multigun National, so I didn't want to take another one. Dry Fire Crew does a lot of stuff down there because he shoots. That's where his stuff was. Vortex was big. I think this, who was it? I think it was these guys, the Team Room. That would be my guess of where the helmet came from. They had a stage sponsor, and they're an FFL in the area that sells nice firearms and suppressors and stuff. So I'm assuming that's where that helmet came from. So that's my shout out to some of the sponsors. So like I said, Jeremy Leitner won overall. This match is shot hit factor. It's kind of USPSA rules, but not really. There's some things you can't do. They do have their own website. I had to go there Friday night to look up the rule set to understand the game I was playing after walkthroughs. So Jeremy Leitner won 424.72 seconds overall. He crushed everybody. He was the only big name there this year. I would say big name. There's some guys that used to be names that are just aging, getting older. So he was 424. The next closest guy was Ray Churnside at 521, also shooting modified. And then a guy named John Reed, don't know who he is. Kevin Yantosh, if you shoot down here, he's kind of making the rounds. He was the first in open. He was at 543.98. I was second at 548.93. So I was really close. If I had fixed my one penalty, I would have beat him. Now, saying that, he had 75 seconds in penalties, so he obviously had a raw time champ 100%. But yeah, so personally happy with that. I don't think I would have shot that close to him. Bob McGinnis, who's down there, he was third and open at 585, and Bob beats me a lot of times. I thought it was fun that there were 2 Bobs in the top 3. Anytime you get 2 Bobs close together, it's fun. Okay, so that's kind of my rundown of the match. By the way, wearing the Vortex hat today. Oh, swag. They gave everybody a swag bag. I got yet another Vortex. I don't really like trucker hats. This is my jam. I drove back today. So that's why I'm wearing a hat. So you don't have to look at my horrible receding hairline. Another Vortex hat. I don't know what I'll do with that. And then a bunch of stickers. This is their Florida Multigun logo, Vortex stickers, and then tons of Keltec swag, patches and stickers, and a pen, and oh, that's a different pen, and a little Keltec like fine screwdriver. I don't know, I'll probably throw it in the range bag. But yeah, so that was kind of the sponsor stuff. If people stuck around, they got a range bag. All right, so we're gonna talk stages here. So I'm gonna watch them on the screen and talk through them, and then I'll put them back overlay them over here later. So I started off on stage 2. I didn't know anybody on my squad. I didn't know, like, wasn't on first name basis if anybody went down there. 8-ish hour drive for me. I stay in Sarasota area when I go down there. So with that, I started squad 2, stage 2. I was the first shooter of the day, which was kind of fun because I didn't really understand the rules. I didn't even know what they considered port arms. Again, it is the problem with 3-gun in America and probably worldwide is no lack of unified rule set. So this was a all 3 guns, shotgun start. You had 2 orange steel. You had to slug with your feet on the start line. So here we go. So my slugs were crushing it today. I don't think I missed a slug shot that I cared about all day. Got a little activator here. I'm not sure. Those were some pretty stiff. This stage in general and all of them in general, pretty stiff knockdowns and movers. These double spinners here, I had trouble reloading 20 round mags all day. Again, I didn't deserve to win, so it's okay. This is one of those MGM ones with the magnets on the back, so these you have to hit solid. I was running a mod choke here because I was running my slugs. So that was it. Dump shotgun, go to pistol. A lot of paper here. And then one little bitty guy right here in a sec you got to knock down. That's for me is worth pausing to take a shot on. Got a little mini paper, so I'm sure people ran by that today or yesterday, and then that was kind of it. Just some nice little running paper. Now the rifle was kind of weird. The back berm there is about 100 yards. You had 2 pieces of steel, one to the right. There's a lot of busy down there, and one to the left. I think the one on the right was 2/3, one on the left was 1/3 IPSC. Targets had to shoot those offhand standing and then get on the springy thing. I don't know what these are supposed to replicate, and we'll talk this later. But kind of a cool plate rack. You had 6 plates. Apparently you can turn them, and so from right to left you had white, you had a no-shoot red, a white, a no-shoot red, and then a white. And then coming up the left side here at the end had 3 skinny Sammies. Yeah, so decent time for me on this stage. Wind became a factor later in the day, so these skinny Sammies, even though they're down low, probably became a factor. Shooting the plate rack, you were kind of rocking back and forth, so you had to kind of time it up and down, but overall it was a fun stage. I ended up having an open stage win on that one, and I was second overall at 101.08. All right, so these were major quality stages. I would agree that they were major quality stages. All right, stage 2. Stage 2 is the long range bay. They have a 600-yard, actually they have a 600-yard bay and a 1,000-yard bay at this facility. Manatee Gun and Archery Club. Shout out to those guys if you're in the area. It's a nice facility, and they do a lot of competition there. So long range stage. So I start out here. Let me mute that and hit go. Okay, so on beep, I had long range targets. You had 2, 4, 6 in the back, and then 5 and 3 going down the left side. So that's what I did. The only thing I had makeups on was the 6. Couldn't see splash behind them. Put the crosshairs in the middle. First one pulled, didn't see anything. Favored left for 2 shots, didn't see anything. Went back to the middle. I think I hit on the 4th or 5th shot. So it was one of those. I think it was just a normal IPSC target or a silhouette target. I think it was just the limits of my accuracy and everything. I did have a rear bag on this, so I was pretty steady. Something I need to work on is just getting lost in the reticle. It feels like I'm taking forever to check where I am in the reticle every time. Then you had to move to the second car, and you had an 87-yard rifle spinner. 45-second penalty. A lot of folks, just to tell you the level of competition, a lot of folks were taking 1 shot and then moving and just taking the penalty. People were talking about how heavy it was. I didn't think it was that heavy. Once, I don't know, I missed the first 2 shots at the top, and once I got it going, I might have missed 1 other shot the entire time, and it spun not too bad. All right, got it over. Not a big fan of this thing here. You had to go through here. You could not draw until your feet were on the ground, and then you had to load. And then some quick pistol here. You got double spinner. So 10 plates, and you had 4 paper and 3 plates with pistol after that. Little pull there. And then generally decent shooting the rest of this. A lot of people were running by this one on the left, understandable. And then coming up here, you had 2 slug. I think the first one was pretty far, about 70 seconds, about 100. So these were pretty far, but again, didn't miss any slug shots I took. Had issues with slugs jamming all day. I have not figured that out with these guns, so they're two jams. I meant to shoot this left to right, not right to left. Shooting right to left, it kind of forced me to go one at a time. The intent was to go left to right and put both those center 2 in the air at the same time. But not horrible time. 121 time, 3rd in division, and 7th overall. So most places you're not going to get 600 yards. That's about a limit. I think some places you'll go to 8 with a big target, but that's about the limit of what you can do really in 3-gun with 5.56 rifles at 600 yards. So if that's their monthly match, these guys are shooting that every month. That's pretty awesome that they're getting to practice that every month. A little bit jealous, not gonna lie. From there, we went to we did go. We went to they have one stage that's got like a cowboy town thing on it. You'll see a trend here. Every stage has a thing, right? So the first stage had the wobbly board. The second stage, the cars and running through the cars. This one, you started sitting in a car, and you had 2 activators, and I'll talk to you. The gas pedal activated the clamshell, and then you're not going to see it because the headliner is going to come down over my camera, but you'll see the top of a popper, and you hit the popper, and as it falls back, it brought a piece of paper up behind it. As the day went and the wind picked up, that paper moved really fast. But this was a stage planning stage. This was a good stage. All these are good stages. So I'm going to hit play here. All right, so hands on dash, steering wheel on dash, hit the gas pedal, 1, 2. And then for whatever reason, I think I had an arm on the steering wheel and I missed a couple shots there. Getting out of here sucked. This was a tiny car. I actually ripped my spare rifle mag off. You'll see me look down at the ground right there. As long as you took this steel and this paper through this window, you cut out a position. It was worth the extra little bit. So this is my one mistake of the day. I saw that steel on the right, and I thought I went back and got it, and I did not. I was shocked when they told me I had a mic on steel. One kind of goofy thing with the match, the targets were kind of different every stage. So some stages you can shoot them with all stuff. Some stages you can. This stage and the one after it, the IPSC targets were rifle only, and the paper were rifle or pistol or maybe or slug. And again, cost myself some time here. Missed on that steel right there. So that's how you had to shoot that leaning out. Stepped out. Oh crap! Step back in. Shoot it. Cost myself some time right there. So that was stage 4. So that was my worst time. 74 seconds with a 10 point penalty. 11th in the division and 20th overall. So that was my worst stage penalty wise, and just didn't have a good flow the whole time. Too many makeup, stuff like that. I'm a big guy. It's tough. All right, going to the next stage, stage 5. So stage 5 was an interesting stage. It was a rifle pistol. I guess technically you could have used shotgun, but it was a rifle pistol stage. You had 5 pistol steel to be shot from within the shooting area, and then some other steel you had to shoot off of a wobbly platform. And then you had some rifle steel. But when you activated rifle paper, when you activated the rifle activators, you lost a port that had pistol and rifle targets through it. So you had to sequence all that, and people got confused on that. So we'll hit play on this here. This was generally went back and watched Leitner's video. It's the same plan he used. All right, so you had to step in. You had a paper go down through this port or steel. And 2 steel you had to take over here. A couple makeups here. It's just a long steel. I might have been nicking some wood there. And then went 1 for 1 on these 2 steel. Hit that one, kind of moving. Had to get this little wobbly platform. Turn all the dueling trees over, and that thing was leaning forward pretty hard, so it was kind of hard. And then 2 static steel. and then it was dump pistol and go to rifle. You can kind of see those targets there to the right. That was an issue. I asked about it beforehand because it was a 180 break, but you could see the targets. So probably the only stage design fault I could see is you had availability of targets that were a 180 break. All right, little rifle mag change here, going left, not the easiest thing to do. This activator was super awkward. I probably should have stomped it beforehand. I did not get on that fast enough. I didn't mean to brace on this, but once I got in there, I was in there. So I just went with it. And then these were nice and big. Take these on the move. Some people forgot about these last two back here. And a little lean. So good run on that. 5th in division and 12th overall. So, decent run there. Could have moved faster. Like I said, kneel in position, or the low port got me a little bit because I'm 6'5", but it is what it is. All right. Stage 6, all shotgun. Starting with a door breach. And door breaches are my nemesis. It's a trend in 3-gun. I'm not a fan of it. I could have, for the record, you had to have one foot on the start mark. So I could have taken a big step forward and extended the gun out and set the muzzle on the stick and pulled the trigger, and that would have been allowed according to the RO. I've never done that, so I didn't want to do it for the first time in a match. Last time I shot a door like this, I put 6 shots at it, didn't break it, and got mad and muzzle thumped it and took the 10-second penalty. I did not have to do that today. So let's go here. And you got to start looking at the stick. So you kind of see me. He's like, yeah, you can step all the way forward and do that. And I'm like, I don't think I want to do that. So let's figure out which stick to point at. A lot of sticks there.
Are you ready?
So this is the technique that some of these guys told me about. So they're quick 2 shots, 3 plays, a lot of mag changes. So this had bird, buck, and slug all in the same stage. This was you had to go to mag change here. You had bird, and then the IPSC was slug, and then the papers you had to put 5 of your buck shots on it. And every kind of position had those, so you really cause for a lot of mag change. This is another awkward position. That activator, you kind of had to close your hips and hit it with your left foot and then open up. And because I had gone to a new mag, it's just a really awkward low port. I burned one at that. Winter rules or weather rules. Another mag change. Again, having issues with 20 round. I need to work on that. Might have gotten, another malfunction there thanks to slugs. I don't know what it is with the shotguns, and I did not shoot that left spinner very good. I got the right one in 3 shots, but the left one I took a few extra shots at. I can do better than that. But yeah, fun stage. I like a good all shotgun stage. Had 5 mags on you. Anytime you got 5 shotgun mags on you, you're having a good day, in my opinion. Okay, last stage coming up here. This was stage 6. By this point, you were getting 40-mile-an-hour gusts. We had them for a little while there. This stage blew down multiple times. Just stage construction. I'm not going to knock the guys for that. Like, it's hard to build a stage that will take 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. It just is. All right, so this is a pistol start. We'll just get it going here. All right, so on beep, draw to pistol, a little plate rack action here. Not my best plate rack. These were leaning pretty good too. Some moving paper. I felt like I was moving a lot faster than that, but I was not. Run over here, the orange steel back there was 2 pistol or 1 slug. This one I take with pistol. Missed the first 2, then went 1-2. Pulled off that one early. Don't forget that paper. A lot of people did. Not sure what happened with these first 2. I might have caught some barrel there. I might have caught some RB there and finally got it. You'll see a second clay come out. I stood on it and I forgot my foot was on it, and I launched the second one, which kind of confused me, and then I stumbled on the reload there. So slug and then another slug over here. A lot of people were pistol in this one. Stinking slug jams. And that was the end of that. I might throw the third person on this one too. So coming into the window here, You had paper down outside each window that you had to put 2 in, and then come back, and then you had 4 steel. The far right, far left were about 80, and then the ones against the back berm were about 100 A-zone steel. Decent little thing. Really tight. I guarantee there were 180 brakes inside this thing all day, and they probably let them go. I'm not a fan of that thing. I got really low here. I was on my knees. A lot of people put a bipod on the gun just to shoot out of there. I just bagged it and went with that. I got down behind it beforehand, made sure I could get that low, but it was not a great shooting position and not fast to get up out of. The camera makes it look like I could see the paper. I could not see that paper, but I put 3 in it and we were good. Life was good. Plan was to stay pushed into that corner because that bar was wobbly, but it was fine. It really wasn't that bad, and finished it up pretty good. That was a first place.
Unload, show me clear.
Oh, no, excuse me. That was a 4th place.
11636.
In division. Overall was 10th, and then the shotgun stage I missed it. I was first place in open there, and 2nd place overall. So yeah. So again, channeling my Steve Anderson, a win is a win. If you don't show up, you don't get to win, right? So I showed up, and I was the 2nd best open shooter there that day, according to the scores. So generally happy with how I did it. Just thoughts on the match. One, for me, it's a long drive. It's about, if I didn't have to stop for gas and food, I think GPS usually has me in at 650 to 710. I have to get over to, it takes me about an hour to get over to I-75 and then shoot down I-75 south of, I stay in, like I said, Sarasota, which is just south of Tampa. And there's some, it's kind of hit and miss. Like one exit's kind of rough and the next couple are kind of good. Not cheap hotels down there at all, any of those exits. Nothing really out that I've seen, nothing out by the shooting area. I don't do Airbnbs and stuff like that. If you wanted to take the family, if the weather was going to be good, you could drive down, or I could have driven down, Thursday night, done some beach stuff Friday morning. If the weather had been nice, walk stages Friday afternoon, shot, and then done some beach stuff Sunday morning and driven back, but we didn't do that. I just went by myself. Thoughts on the match. I don't know how I feel about all the circus stuff. Like I said, every stage had a thing. You had the swinging platform. You had the car you had to run through. You had the car you had to get out of. You had the load ports and the goofy activator. You had the breaching door, and then you had the RV. So on the one hand, it's really cool the facility has that, right? And I follow them online and follow some of the shooters. Like, they're using that stuff every month, which is awesome for them. It kind of goes to the so what in the competitive equity. I get shooting out of cars. I get shooting out of car windows. I get shooting over car hoods. I don't really get, I kind of get like having to duck through something low and then come out of. I kind of get that maybe if you're breaching or something like that. I don't like the door breaches. Like I said, that's not how you breach a door. You put your muzzle on it and you breach it. You don't stand 6 feet back and breach it. I don't get the swinging platforms. I have not figured out what that's supposed to replicate in real life, and those are a thing everywhere right now. They are what they are. Like I said, I finished good. By the way, if I did my percentage of Jeremy, I did the math. It was like 80% of light. I think it was like 75% of Lightner, which is probably about right. He is a better shooter than me, and not to take anything from him. He's going to be on the world shoot team for either modified or TAC. I'm not sure which one he qualified for. All right, but there just wasn't a lot of heat here, which is why I took second. Okay, but now again, like Steve Anderson said, hey, you got to show up to win. So yeah, the prop stuff, but then again, you go to this stuff to do stuff you don't get to do every day. So for some people, that's really fun. I would have liked to have seen one just stage. Just how good can you shoot? I guess you could say the rifle pistol stage was almost there, but it really wasn't. And like I said, the activators were kind of, all shotgun stage activator was kind of goofy, and then the rifle pistol stage activator was, they're just in awkward positions. Staff, most part was really good. It was one stage that was running slow because the guy thought he was going to teach everybody how to shoot three gun. If you're running a mini major, you're there to push people through and to make time, and I think that's something staff's got to do. Um, yeah, and then the other time we got bogged down was lunch, and that was kind of just. They have an amazing taco truck. I don't know. I didn't get the name of it. It was amazing, and everybody got a ticket, and you got you go tell them you want chicken or pork or steak tacos, and write it there, and they give them to you. The problem was you had to leave your stage, go to the taco truck, get your tacos, wait there, get your tacos, and then go back. So you were off your stage for 5 minutes. So at one point I'm resetting, I turn around, there's like 3 people left because everybody decided to go get their tacos. Uh, and I over reset. It's what I do. So at one point, so I was the last one on the squad to eat. I ate after the shotgun stage, and everybody else had already eaten by then. And then the same thing happened with staff. There was no super controlled. It was, hey, go get your stuff and come back. Where normally like staff stuff is delivered to the stage. So that was kind of goofy. Kind of bogged things down around lunchtime, and the taco truck was late. It was supposed to be there like 11 or 11:30. Didn't get there till noon. Status quo, right? They were good. I enjoyed them. I had the pork; they were tasty. I would highly recommend them. The steak looked good, chicken looked good, everything looked good. And then prize table, right? So Keltec came in big for this. They putting guns on the table. That helmet by itself is $450-ish MSRP, and then I don't know how expensive that nods mount is, but it's not cheap. And then there's some other accessories on there, so that's probably $800 to $1,000 all kitted out, right? So there was stuff. Vortex had some pistol dots and had a couple LVPOs, LPVOs, low priority optics, and a couple other scopes on there. I saw some hollow sun dots on there. There was good stuff on the tables, and then like I said, the random bags. You got some swag. It is what it is. It's good. It's fun. So would I recommend going to the match? I think if you're in the area, go to the match. I don't know that I would recommend flying in for it unless you're flying in with the family for the weekend. Then it's nice weather and it's a little mini vacation and you're shooting for a day. That I would recommend doing. I don't know that I would fly from a different part of the country. We'll see what I'm doing next year. Like I said, I had fun. It cost me a Friday to drive down and get up, drive down, walk stages, have dinner, and then shoot Saturday. And thanks to my insomnia, I was awake at 2 o'clock this morning, and I waited till the drunks got off the road and started driving at 4, and I was home by lunch. But and the bomb cyclones got everybody off the road, so the highways were pretty clear. I could set the cruise and drive. But I wouldn't say it's a must attend. But for you're not a lot of matches in January, so if you're in the area and you want to shoot some 3-gun, absolutely go down and shoot it. Good team, good folks, and not a lot of heat. So if you're kind of a mid-pack shooter, you might come out second place or first place or third place or whatever. So that's what I got on the Florida Multigun Trial of Champions 2026. Have a good one.